Hello and welcome to Bloodborne, the board game. We're now on the last mission of the Long Hunt, Chapter 3. So let's get straight into Chapter 3. We've selected all the enemies that we're supposed to. We've selected the tiles. You start Chapter 3 with the same tile layout as you had in Chapter 2. So I've put it back exactly how it was because I feel it gives it a nice continuity to the game. So let's start Chapter 3. Start of the hunt, reveal card 40. We're going to be watching out for 3 events as we play. End a move on Yosefka's clinic, end a move on the Great Bridge Tile, or end a move on Odin Chapel. So, card 40. Hunt mission, Source of the Scourge. From deep within the tomb of Odin, the Cleric Beast emits a thundering roar. From all around central Yharnam, howls of Scourge Beasts are heard in turn. It would appear this creature has taken up the role of pack leader, summoning the beasts to it. As long as this creature lives, more Scourge Beasts will be drawn to it. The goal is clear. We need to reveal card 41, we need to surround the tomb of Odin Tower with fog gates, and we need to spawn the Cleric Beast on its lamp space. And we'll complete the hunt by slaying the Cleric Beast, at which point we'll reveal card 44. So, let's do these things in order. Let's surround the tile with fog gates first. So we come over here, we can see the tile there. We don't need to surround it, we just need to put one on right there. Then we also can put a hunter's minion on this space, which I can do. And finally, we need to spawn the Cleric Beast on the lamp tile space, so it just sit right there. Okay. Now that we've done that, we can get card 41. Card 41. Contained. Hunters may not enter the tomb of Odin. When the hunters have collected at least 2 insight this chapter, or the second reset space of the hunt track is reached, mark this space with an insight token. Reveal cards 42 and 43. A little bit of flavour text. The Cleric Beast has been lured to the tomb of Odin. While it is distracted, let us use this time to complete the rest of the hunt. Okay, well that's pretty straightforward. We need to come over to our time tracker and just put an insight token on that second space to remind us when we get to the second reset that we trigger the action on these cards. And now we need to just explore until we find a couple of insight missions to collect, and then we can also trigger the activity if we manage to do that first. So let's just get straight into our first phase of the game. 3 cards. Doesn't really matter what any of these say because we haven't got anything to attack particularly that we want to do. We just want to explore and get these insight missions. So I will start by just dropping second wind, and we will move straight up the board in this direction, get the first of the random tiles that we've shuffled, and I'll put it like this. We need to put chest token on there for the consumables. We need to spawn a hunter's mob on here. And we need to do our move, which is 1, 2. So that's 1 card spent. I'll now expend the Swift card. And we'll now move 1 and another over here. Let's do it this way. 2. Now we have to remember, because we moved out of the space of this, it will pursue us. And we've now used 2 of our cards and we're in the Odin Chapel. So let's come back, because we know when we land on the Odin Chapel, if you remember the chapter card, and the move on Odin Chapel, reveal card 56. Card 56, Insight Mission. Odin Chapel. You press upon the large doors of the ancient chapel. Now we need to check if we have any of these. If you have ominous warnings, If you do not have ominous warnings but have safe refuge, Odin Chapel, or otherwise if you don't have either of those, let's remind ourselves what we have from the previous chapters. On the hunt, moment of mercy, Yosefka's research, surviving the hunt. We don't have either of the cards that this mentions, so we are going to go with the option of otherwise, which means we need to reveal card 33. Card 33. Shelter at Odin Chapel. From the darkened corner of the chapel, a hunched and robed figure addresses you. Ah, a hunter are you? Good, good. I've been waiting for one of your ilk. If you spot anyone with their wits about them, bring them to this here Odin Chapel. They'll be safe here. Hunters also gain 1 survivor token when they pick up consumables from chest spaces. These tokens are lost if the hunter teleports or goes to the dream. Hunters ending a move on the Odin Chapel tile place their held tokens on this card. Okay, complete this mission when we have number of hunters, which is 1 plus 1. So when we have 2 tokens placed on this card, we can then move on to reveal card 34. So I'll put that on top of the Odin Chapel Insight mission. As always, I always keep all my cards, if you remember, just over here so I can keep track of the missions that I'm doing. Right, before we start collecting survivor tokens, we have to complete the activities that are going on right now. So I have 1 card left, which is a leaping. We can make a move action before using this card to attack. I think we will move like this, 1, 2, which will bring the Hunter's Mob into this space with us because we've left the space they were in as well as the tiles, so they will definitely pursue us. The moment they move into that space with us, it will cause Ludwig's Rifle to trigger, which will do them 2 damage, like so. And now we can use our leaping card to finish our move with the attack. And we only need to do 2 damage. The leaping card does plus 1 damage, so we might as well choose the very quickest attack that we have, which is a quick cut. So we will do the quick cut. I'm just trying to make sure you can see everything that's going on over here at the side. So the enemy is going to do their special. Now the Hunter's Mob special attack is a shield bash, speed 2, 2 damage, stagger and stun, all irrelevant because our speed 3 quick cut attack is going to land first and kill the enemy. So Hunter's Mob is dead. We need to remove it from the board, and then we can come back over here and we need to give ourselves a blood echo. And something that I've often forgotten in the past, which only hurts me, it doesn't cheat or make the game easier, it sort of makes it slightly harder. On a kill we get to draw 1 and heal 1. Having killed the Hunter's Mob, we don't need to heal anything, but we can draw 1, and this is great because it means that we've got another card and can actually, if we wish to, perform another action this turn. I'm just thinking what's going to happen when we end our turn. The Hunter's minion is going to move 1 space towards us, so he's not going to get close enough to do any damage, so I'm not going to need this to actually attack or defend myself. I might just take a bit of a gamble. Speed in this game is always important, so I'm going to expend this last card to move 1 more time. And we will move to the left, and it will move us into this. So it will move me 1, 2, like so. We need to put a chest over here, and we need to put a Scourge Beast on there. There's nothing I can do. We're in this space. It's the end of my turn. I've got no cards. The Scourge Beast will activate, move into the space with me, and will then attack. The attack of the Scourge Beast is going to be its basic attack, which is a 3 speed, 2 damage attack. I've got nothing to defend myself, so I take the 2 damage. Let's move these up a bit so you can see those. There we go. That's the end of my first turn. I move the time tracker on 1. Take another 3 cards into our hand. I think the thing about the Scourge Beast is whenever you move and it pursues, it always pursues 2 spaces, so you can never outrun one. But what we can do is move to display a new tile using this, and it will pursue 2, so it will end up in the same space, and we can then use this to attack it as well. What should we attack it with? We want to do 4 damage, so I'll put it in the heavy carve space. That's more damage than we need to do to kill it, but that's what we'll do. Right, so let's go back up the board and see what happens as we move. We're going to move straight down the table. So I need to put this tile like this. That will be 1, 2. The Scourge Beast will pursue. 1, 2. And now we need to follow through on that attack activity and see what happens. I've put this in heavy carve. Let's see what the Scourge Beast does. Scourge Beast does its basic attack, which is the speed 3, 2 damage. Unfortunately, even though I have got the dodge card, I only have a speed 2 slot available, so it's impossible for us to dodge. We don't have anything equal speed or faster. So we take the 2 damage, knocking this one out, putting 1 back. So we're down to 2 health. But the good news is that even though we've taken that damage, we've now done 3, 4, 5 damage. We only need to do 4 to kill a Scourge Beast. So the Scourge Beast is gone. Take it off the table. We get another Blood Echo. And we also have to remember this. On a kill, we can draw 1 and heal 1. So I can put 1 health back. And we can draw another card. And that's worked out really nicely because we've managed to get another tile displayed, kill a beast. We've still got 3 cards, so we can still actually continue with the game. But now we have to remember that we've ended a move on Yosefka's Clinic, so we need to reveal card 45. Card 45. Yosefka's Clinic. You approach the large barred doors of the clinic. Knocking upon them, a low female voice answers. If you have both Yosefka's Research and Safe Refuge Yosefka's Clinic, reveal card 46. If you have Safe Refuge Yosefka's Clinic but do not have Yosefka's Research, reveal card 51. If you have Yosefka's Research but do not have Safe Refuge Yosefka's Clinic, reveal card 52. Otherwise, reveal card 24. So, again, just as a quick reminder, we have got Yosefka's Research, but we don't have the Safe Refuge, so we will reveal card 52. Card 52, Shelter at Yosefka's Clinic. Ah, the Hunter, I have a task for you. The infection spreads and the common folk need shelter. Send them here and I swear I will protect them, perhaps even cure them, and of course you will be rewarded as well. Then it's very similar to the other insight mission. Hunters also gain 1 survivor token when they pick up consumables from chest spaces. These tokens are lost if the hunter teleports or goes to the dream. Hunters ending a move on Yosefka's Clinic tile place their held tokens on this card. We need 2 tokens, the number of hunters plus 1, to be placed on this card to complete the mission. And we have to decide really which of the missions we want to do. Let me come up on the map and show you what I'm talking about. So from our position here, we have a chest token up here. We can go and grab that very quickly. We also have a chest token over here to the right. We have the Odin Chapel's rescue mission. It's going to be more efficient for us to collect this, move to the chapel, collect this, move back to the chapel. We're going to effectively complete that mission with less moves. So that's what we're going to do. So we will expend, doesn't really matter which card we expend, we'll just expend our Tireless card. Pop him back and we will move 1, 2. We then need to expend a card, might as well just do this one, really doesn't matter which one we do. And that allows us to pick up the consumable. So we take the token away. We will get a consumable item, and this time we're getting the Molotov cocktail. Does 2 damage to 1 enemy in your space during your turn. Put that at the side of the board to keep track of it. And we need to get a survivor token as well. So we put the survivor token on with us so we can keep track of it. And then we'll simply use our last card, basic dodge card, to move 2. 1, 2. Guess what? We're into Odin's Chapel. We can now put survivor token on our insight mission card, and we're halfway there for that insight mission. That is the end of my go. I have no more cards left to make any more moves. So we need to move the time tracker on again. I'll pick 3 cards. Really doesn't matter what the 3 cards are, but I'll just show you what I got. And we are going to use, I think we'll use this one, Rapid. Just discard that. We'll move 2, 1, 2. We'll then use this card, Rallying, to interact with the space, pick up the consumable. We get another consumable. This time we get a sedative, which allows us to draw a card and remove 1, I think it's a poison token. And of course we get another survivor token. And then we have 1 card left. So we will use that to move back into Odin Chapel. Now I have to decide where I want to finish my move. Where are we going to go next after Odin Chapel? Most likely we'll try and find our way down the board this way to you know, examine some more tiles further down. So I'll finish my 2 moves here, and that means I get rid of another survivor token onto the insight mission. Right, let's see what that means. If you remember, it said complete this mission when you have 2 tokens placed on this card and reveal card 34. Card 34, Safe Refuge, Odin Chapel. The shelter at Yosefka's clinic insight mission may no longer be completed, so we need to remove that one from our stack of things that we can do. Distribute the Carol Rune Odin Rive reward among the hunters. Odin Chapel with its warding incense offers protection to all during these nights of the hunt. Okay, so we've completed an insight mission, that's great. I will get the, was it Carol Rune Odin Rive? Carol Rune Odin Rive. On attack, attack gains stagger and may stagger attacks of the same speed. Rive acknowledges visceral attacks as one of the darker hunter techniques. So I have to decide now whether this is a better rune card to keep than the 2 I have. I'm definitely not getting rid of the moon card, which allows me to retain a blood echo even when I'm killed, when I go back to the dream. Is it better than the rune eye? Is it better than that? I actually think I'd rather keep the Carol Rune eye card. I'm less impressed with the stagger card, so I think I'm going to keep the one I've got. Okay, that was all of my cards, which means that was the end of my turn. What does that mean up on the game board? Not a huge amount. The hunter's minion will move 1 space towards us because he's within 1 game tile, so it'll activate and move 1. Can't reach us, can't attack us, so that's it, we don't have to worry about that. That means it's my next turn. We need to move the time tracker on again. We need to get, well, I've only got 1 card available there, so we're going to have to take the deck of the other cards and shuffle it. Put that like that and get 2 more cards. Okay, what have we got? We have a dash, that's very useful. Move 3 spaces. We have a second wind, which is also great because we could heal another 2 points. And we have a really nice dodge here, which lets us dodge and deal 2 damage to the enemy. So let's use the dash to move as quickly as we can down the board. Oh, we're going to move 1, 2, 3. Because we moved through the space that the hunter's minion was in, he will move 1 to follow us, so that's the end of 1 move. Now we will discard Second Wind, and when we use Second Wind for anything that's not an attack, we get 2 health. So I won't show you that, but I'm just going to put the 2 health on now. That brings us back to 5, and we move 2 more spaces, and that brings us onto the Great Bridge. Let me just come a bit further down. There you go, you can see that okay. We need to put a Hunter's Mob on this space. We need to put a chest token on here. We need to move the 1 at least onto there. And I think I'm going to stop there, but what I am going to do now is we've landed on the Great Bridge. So what we need to do is reveal card 53. Card 53. The Great Bridge. It's another insight mission, which is great because we need another mission. The Great Bridge, the connector between Central Yharnam and the Cathedral Ward. If you have ominous warnings or surviving the hunt, reveal card 54. Otherwise, reveal card 35. Okay, I know you're probably all getting a bit bored of this now, but let's just check what we've got. We have got surviving the hunt. We don't have ominous warnings, so we do have surviving the hunt. So that means that we will reveal card 54. Card 54. Clearing the pack. You come across a small pack of Scourge Beasts. Surprisingly, rather than attack, they retreat, seemingly fleeing you. Perhaps it is the smell of blood or some animal instinct instructing them to do so, but regardless of the reason, you will finish the purging of these beasts from Yharnam. Place 3 tokens, 1 hunter plus 2 insight tokens on this card. Each time a Scourge Beast is slain, remove 1 token from this card. Complete this mission when this card has no remaining tokens. Okay, that seems straightforward enough. It's a shame that we don't have more Scourge Beasts on the board, and we have, having moved onto that space, we still have 1 card left. Now if I move 2, I will end up in the space with the Hunter's Minion that can do quite a lot of damage, and I'll have nothing with which to defend myself. If I stay where I am, the Hunter's Mob will move into the space with me. There's a good chance I can use this to dodge and deal 2 damage, but honestly I don't care about fighting the Hunter's Mob. Other than getting a Blood Echo, it's not going to help me. So what I'm actually going to do is go back to the Hunter's Dream at this point. It would be a good time to get my Blood Echoes converted into upgrades, reset my weapon, get rid of these cards, free up the slots, put my health back up, and when I respawn, I can respawn anywhere on the board that I like. The other reason I'm doing this now is because the next position on the time tracker is the reset position, which means that a Scourge Beast will spawn over on the tile to the top left. If I just remind you, up in this tile here, this is a Scourge Beast position, so I can get at least 1 Scourge Beast quite quickly without having to waste time and effort on the Hunter's Minion and the Hunter's Mob. So that's what we'll do. We will expend our counter strike and we will take our character from here over to the Hunter's Dream. So first of all, because we've returned to the Hunter's Dream, we move the time track on and it goes to a reset position. Reset position. Let's just remind ourselves what that means to the board here. Just about get the whole board in there. Okay, Hunter's Minion, no change, he's already on his space. Hunter's Mob, no change, already on the space. Scourge Beast, over here on this tile. We need to put a chest token back on the chest space. We need to put another chest token over here on this chest space. We need to spawn another Hunter's Mob on there. And that is everything. That's great. So that's the reset part complete. Come back over to the dream. Now let's spend our Blood Echoes. We have 2 to spend. What do we fancy? I like being able to move 3, so I'm going to take the dash. I think that's a good card. We'll take that. Before we choose our second upgrade, we can repopulate that space. So now we have one more upgrade we can choose. I'm really tempted between these two cards. A heal 1, clear this, or any other slot. That's nice. I like that. Or a leaping. Well, we've already got 2 leapings and they are great, but this is interesting. I've not had one of these, so I think we'll actually take one of those. See how that works out in the game. That was our other token. We need to put another upgrade in position here. Oh, that's probably my favourite card. Okay, so that's our upgrades dealt with. We need to put our health back. There we go, 6. We always need to remember to reset our firearm. We need to take these cards off here. And we need to choose which 2 cards we're going to get rid of in order to keep our 2 new cards. So I'll just put our 2 new cards here so you can remember what they are. And then I'll have a think about which ones I'm going to get rid of. Okay, the first one is an easy choice. I only have 1 basic card left in my Hunter's deck. It's a basic dodge, clear this slot. To me, that's effectively this card. This is just, you know, it's the dodge, it's got the clear the slot, but it's got the other features. Clear another slot, heal 1. So that's it. That's an easy choice. I'll swap that one for this card. So that's that. And I think this one's quite an easy choice as well. I've never been particularly keen on this tireless card. I would much rather have the dash. That leaves us with our 12 Hunter's deck cards. We just need to shuffle those because we've been back to the dreams, so we give them a really good shuffle. Okay, and if you remember, we don't have to choose which side we want this card to be on until we've looked at what the cards are that we're going to get. Here's our 3 cards. Right, well I think this is good. I can use, what do we want to do? I think what we want to do is actually flip this over. We're facing a Scourge Beast, they're fast. I think in order to dodge we're going to want to have maximum speed, and if we get to use our rifle to deal with 2 damage, then instead of putting this on here for 3, which we wouldn't need the extra, let's just put it on one of the quick cuts, so that would do 2 damage. Also, notice the stagger deals +1. So if we were to use this card with stagger in our other quick cut, we could potentially take the beast out with just these 2. So with a bit of luck, who knows, we might get lucky, we might not. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to keep the card on this side. We now need to choose where we're going to spawn our hunter. And I've already given this some thought. We're going to spawn back here at Odin Chapel, and then we're going to expend the dash card to move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, in with the Scourge Beast, and then we're going to deal with the Scourge Beast. First thing we're going to do is use the adaptive card with the stagger. We're going to pop that in this space, so it's as fast as we can go. It's speed 3, and we can clear the slot afterwards. Let's see what the enemy does. The enemy does its ability. Okay, I can't remember what the Scourge Beast's ability is, so let's have a look at the card. Ability, Bestial Howl. At speed 1, before the hunter's attack, spawn 1 Scourge Beast in this space. Okay, well, we're not taking any damage, which is great. And I have to say, getting the ability with the Scourge Beast, this is actually a good thing, because we're trying, if you remember for the Insight mission, we're trying to kill Scourge Beasts. So we really do need Scourge Beasts to appear. It does no damage to me. We'll have to remember to spawn that Scourge Beast in a moment, but now we can do our 2 damage, remember, stagger gives us +1, so we do the 2 damage. We will also clear this slot. So 2 damage to the Scourge Beast. I'll just put those up next to the miniature. I won't bother showing you that, but you know that's what I'm doing. And then we have a choice now of whether we want to move or not. So Let's just put the other Scourge Beast in before we forget. So we're up here. And what I'll do is I'll put the new Scourge Beast on this side so it's easy to remember which one's taken the damage and which one's the fresh one. Only got one card left, so I may well take some damage next turn. I think the more useful thing for me to do with this is guarantee a kill. So if I use it to move 2 spaces and I go 1, 2, both Scourge Beasts will pursue, moving 2. This Scourge Beast will pursue, moving 2, and I'm going to discharge my firearm against that particular Scourge Beast, which will do the last 2 damage required to kill it. So that one's gone. I put a Blood Echo in my Blood Echo space. I don't have any card to defend myself from the Scourge Beast, so I will just have to now see what damage it does to me. Oh, I don't think I said anything, but when we returned from the Hunter's Dream, obviously we had to move the time tracker on 1 as well. Apologies for not mentioning that. Right, the other thing we have to remember to do, the 3 Scourge Beast tokens that we had on the Insight mission, we've killed a Scourge Beast, so we take one of those away. We've only got 2 tokens left now. Now let's see what the Scourge Beast is going to do to me. It's going to do its special, which is typical, isn't it? Its special is very slow. It has stun. I don't have a card to be able to discard, so for those that don't know, if you have an enemy that does stun, you need to discard a card, otherwise you're going to take 1 more damage. It does 4 damage with this attack, so I'm going to lose a lot of health there. So 4 damage plus the 1 because I can't discard a card for the stun, and the Scourge Beast has done a good job there of doing some serious damage to me. That was the end of my turn. The Scourge Beast has attacked and I've taken the damage. We also need to remember the other enemies within 1 tile of me will activate and move 1 space closer. Now we move the time tracker on 1 and I pick my 3 cards. Here they are. Ideally we want to dodge this Scourge Beast so that we can do 2 damage to it. We also, I think, want to get away from the Hunter's Mob and Hunter's Minion. I really don't want to find myself, with them pursuing me all around the board. We'll use this card, which we can clear the slot afterwards, to do the quick cut for 2 damage. Let's see what the Scourge Beast does. The Scourge Beast does its basic. Okay, its basic is a speed 3 normally, but we're on the Odin Chapel tile. If you remember, on the Odin Chapel tile there is a little bit of text in the top left corner of the tile, and it tells you that any enemy on that tile suffers -1 to its speed. So that means that we will land our attack first, doing 2 damage to this beast. I'll just put the tokens up to remind myself. And then the beast is attacking now at speed 2 for 2 damage. Now that would be enough to kill me, but because it's now only at speed 2, in fact even if it was speed 3 it wouldn't matter, I can still use this card to dodge, and by dodging I deal 2 damage to the creature after dodging, so the Scourge Beast is dead, which has worked out quite lucky because it could have easily gone a different way with different cards. So we get another Blood Echo. We are on the different side of the card now, so we don't get any health or drawing of another card at the end of that. I do need to remember to clear this slot, so I'll just do that. And with my last card, I'm going to use Leaping to move out of the way so that the Hunter's Mob and Hunter's Minion don't pursue or activate and follow me. So let's come up to the board. This is dead. Take those off. We use the last card to move to here, and we also need to remember, if we come over here, that we have now killed another Scourge Beast, so we take off another of the insight tokens from the mission card. We only need to kill 1 more and we'll have got our 2. We need to now start a new turn. None of the other enemies are within 1 tile space of me, so they won't activate. We moved the time tracker on. We're only 1 away now from that reset position with the special token. And we're back to our turn. 3 new cards. Okay, well this is good. Actually though, I'm looking at where we are. The next one is going to be a reset. We need the reset in order to get another Scourge Beast. There isn't a lot I'm going to be able to accomplish here. I could move and attack one of these other creatures, but it's really not going to give me anything particularly special. So I think we'll just put these cards down. We'll just use one of them, doesn't matter. We'll just go back to the dream. So let's do that. Take my character, put him back in a dream. Let's just put my health back up where we're on the board there. 2, 3, 6. Get my blood echoes. Reset the firearm. Take this card off here. Take all our hunter's deck, like so. Also, you can see we've used the last of the enemy action cards, so those need a good shuffle. Put those back ready for next time we need them. Okay, we've come back to the hunter's dream, so let's just remember again, we need to move this on, which means it's a reset. It also means we've triggered that card, so we'll get to that in a second. First of all, let's just deal with the reset. So the reset means that this hunter's minion will come back to there, Scourge Beast will respawn over here, and the hunter's mob over here will just come back to its starting space. That's everything, there's no other things to fix on the board. Now we come over here. I think we will take care of any upgrades first, so I will take another counter strike. It's one of my favourite cards. I think it's incredibly useful, so we'll take that. Let's put another card in its place, and we'll also take the leaping. Why not? Moving and attacking, great combination. Put that back there. Let's just decide. I'll just put these cards here again like I did last time to remind you, and then I need to choose what we're going to discard. I feel like maybe this is definitely a candidate, this is a candidate. I want to keep my dashes, I want to keep my invigorating. This card might be a candidate, right? So I think it's between these cards which ones I'm going to get rid of. I feel like rapid allows me to draw one and clear the slot, but leaping allows me to move and attack, so I kind of get 2 actions just from the one card. So I think we will get rid of the rapid to keep the leaping. That just leaves this. I feel like I'm going to get rid of the adaptive. Swift gives us +1 damage and speed whichever side of the trick weapon card we're on. This one only gives us the +1 damage if we happen to be on the stagger side of the card, this side that says with stagger deal +1. So I think we will get rid of that and keep the swift and the counter strike. So that's our hunter's deck confirmed. Pop that there, ready. Okay, now the last thing we need to do is remember that we have now hit that second reset point that had the special token on it to remind us. So let's see, what did it say? Hunters may not enter the Tomb of Odin. Well, we haven't collected 2 insight yet, so we haven't finished 2 insight missions. We almost finished the second one, but when the time tracker reaches the second reset space, which is what we've just done, then we need to reveal cards 42 and 43. Card 42. Remove the contained card and the fog gates from the Tomb of Odin. At the end of each round, if the Cleric Beast is not in a space with a hunter, it moves 4 spaces towards the nearest hunter with the lowest HP and attacks. Otherwise, it attacks the hunter with the lowest HP in its space. It is not removed on resets, but instead heals all damage. and removes all insight tokens. Okay, so at least we don't have to worry about it constantly going back to the graveyard if we hit another reset point. That's good. So let's just do that. So first of all, we come back up to the board, we remove the fog gate. Then it said we come down here, we're going to forget about this contained card. I'm going to replace it with this unleashed. We just need to remember that it moves 4 now. Now we also need to read card 43. So let's come back. Summon the pack. Each time the Cleric Beast flips recovery, spawn 1 Scourge Beast in its space. These Scourge Beasts do not respawn on a reset. Discard this card if the hunters have or gain the Clearing the Pack card. Okay, well that's interesting. So the Clearing the Pack card, we only need 1 more Scourge Beast to be able to clear the pack. This means that whatever happens, you know, if you're not aware, when you're fighting the boss, you use the boss's special action cards, and there is a card called Recovery. And because there's only 5 cards, you have a very good chance of hitting that card during the battle. So it's almost certain that you would get a Scourge Beast at least once. But we have a Scourge Beast on the board because of the reset, so we may choose to actually deal with that Scourge Beast first, and then we won't have to worry about dealing with the Scourge Beast in the same space as the Cleric Beast. We now need to choose where we're going to respawn and which side of this card we want to come back into the fight with. I think we will come back into the fight on this side. We're going to be dealing with the Cleric Beast, which means we're going to want to do as much damage as possible. So I'm going to put the Bloodstone Shard on the Heavy Carve so we can get 4 damage with that. Everything is reset. We need to, this is what we have to do when we come back. Because we've finished now in the Hunter's Dream, we moved it on 1 when we came back to the Dream. We now move it on 1 because we're effectively starting the new turn, and we just need to decide where we're going to respawn. We could respawn in Yosefka's clinic. We could then deal with this Scourge Beast, and we would know that the Cleric Beast would be nowhere near us, and we would then have to make a decision as to how to get over to the Cleric Beast. It's going to come and see us as quickly as it can. One of the problems with that is that there's a good chance the Hunter's minion and the Hunter's mob may activate and move towards us as well, and that could lead to a situation where we actually end up trapped with a Hunter's minion and a Hunter's mob and the Cleric Beast. That would not be great. I don't know, I think I still want to give that a go though, because I really don't want to have to deal with a Scourge Beast and a Cleric Beast at the same time. So we will spawn back here, and then we will take our 3 cards and hopefully get something that allows us to deal with the Scourge Beast as quickly and as effectively as possible. Let's use our Leaping card to move 2 spaces into the space with the beast. That's 1, 2. Let's come back down here. Let's attack it with Heavy Carve. I didn't really want to use this spell out. I'm sure we'll have a chance to reset this before the Cleric Beast gets to us. Let's see what the Scourge Beast does. The Scourge Beast does its basic attack, which is a speed 3. I will dodge the speed 3 with this card, which allows me to clear the space afterwards, which means we take no damage at all, and we're doing 3, 4, 5 damage on this card, which means that we've killed the Scourge Beast. So that was quite easy. Scourge Beast is gone. We'll give ourselves a Blood Echo, although I'm not sure how many more upgrade cards we really need. We get rid of the final token from clearing the pack. Complete this mission when this card has no remaining tokens and reveal card 55. So let's have a look at card 55. Card 55. Clearing the pack. Distribute the Executioner's Gloves reward among the hunters. The Scourge Beasts have been eradicated from the district, at least for now. Executioner's Gloves. In a hunter turn, you can slay 1 enemy within 2 spaces that has 2 or less remaining health points. Right, we need to decide between that and the Beast Roar. Tricky decision. I feel like this, I don't know if this could be useful or not. I think I'm going to keep the Executioner's Gloves and get rid of the Beast Roar. So put the Executioner's Gloves there, Beast Roar is gone. So what should we do next? Ideally, I'd like to use this slot as an attack or a dodge so that I can actually clear this slot here with the leaping in. And I think that's a really good card. I'm going to keep this card. I'm going to end my turn with this card unused, and then I get to keep this for my next go. So what's going to happen on the board? If we take a look at where we are, over here, none of these are within a tile of me, so none of the enemies are going to activate there. But our good friend the Cleric Beast, he is going to activate. He is going to move 4 spaces towards us. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, come around here to 4. I think that's the quickest way for him to get over to this side of the board. That's the end of the enemy activation. We need to move the time tracker on 1. Now we can give ourselves another 2 cards. I am going to simply use this leaping card to move. I'm just going to use it to move. I'm not going to use it to attack. So I'm just going to discard it to move, and I'm only going to move up the board 1 space to here. And I'm actually going to end my turn there and allow the Cleric Beast to activate. He will move 1, 2, 3, 4. He moves into my space. So a couple of things are going to happen now. First thing that's going to happen is we're going to move these enemy attack cards out of the way, because we're now going to deal with the Cleric Beast. We need the phase 1 Cleric Beast cards. These are the phase 1. These are the phase 2. They're a different colour around the border, so it's quite easy. Just mix these up. Only 5 of them, so not easy to shuffle, but just mix those up, put them over here. And we also need the Cleric Beast's card. Cleric Beast is going to start on the phase 1 side. There's only 1 hunter, so it's going to start with 10 health. And what I'm going to do is put this down here where you can see it. And I'll just, a bit like the hunter, I'll put the health on and we'll take it away as we do the damage. Okay, so there is 10 health. Remember, the Cleric Beast has moved into our space. So the first thing we're going to do is discharge our firearm to immediately do 2 damage to the Cleric Beast. So that's 2 done. Remember, I'd given up my turn so that the Cleric Beast could activate and move in. So I have 2 cards, and I can choose whether to attack or not, because the Cleric Beast is now going to attack me. Got these 2 cards, so what I could try and do is maximum damage possible, which would be to maybe put this in here, which could do, you know, could do 3 damage to the beast, and I would still have this dodge card for this fastest one. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll try and do as much damage as we can. So the Cleric Beast is going to do Overhead Slam. It's a speed 2 that does 4 damage. It targets all hunters in this space. Before this attack, 1 hunter in this space may exhaust their firearm to place an insight token on the Cleric Beast card. This attack deals -1 damage per insight token. Well, the good news here is this attack isn't going to do any damage, because I'm going to dodge it using this card here. And this is the first time I've had a card like this. It says heal 1. Well, we don't need to heal, but clear this or any other slot. So it's going to allow me to clear my leaping slot, which is great. Then let's take a look at what we've done to the Cleric Beast, because our attack is now going to do, is going to land, and it's doing 2 damage plus 1 damage, which is 3. So we immediately get to take away another 3 health from the Cleric Beast. This is not a bad start. That is the end of the Cleric Beast's attack. I now need to draw 3 cards for my turn. Oh, must move the time token on 1. So I always have to remember that. Now let's see, what can we do to do as much damage as possible? I feel like we need some more options. So I think I'm going to use this card, Second Wind, to flip the trick weapon card over, like so. I'm going to leave this here because we're going to try and do as much damage as quickly as we can. That would be 3. So that's 1 card gone. Let's use a consumable. We have a Molotov cocktail. Deal 2 damage to 1 enemy in your space. Okay, let's discard that consumable. So that's gone. And we do 2 damage to the Hunter Beast. That takes it from 5 down to 3. Now, if we can get this attack to land, we'll have completed phase 1 of the Cleric Beast and we'll be able to flip it over. So I want to keep this one to try and dodge. So we will attack the Cleric Beast in here. We get to clear the slot afterwards. What is the Cleric Beast going to do? Overhead slam. Well, we've just read this, so I don't think I need to read it all again. But the best thing about this is that we can dodge it. And we will dodge it simply by putting the card in here. After dodging, we deal 2 damage, which takes the Cleric Beast down to 1. And now our attack will land, and our attack is doing 3 damage, but we only actually can do the 1 to take the Cleric Beast down to phase 2. So the Cleric Beast will switch down now to phase 2. We need to take these cards out of the way because we now switch to the phase 2 deck. I've used all my cards, but let me just see, what does this let me do? Sedative, Hunter turn, draw 1 card and remove 1 poison. Well, this is great. Maybe I can at least draw a dodge card to help us with whatever the Cleric Beast is going to do in its attack. So we'll use that consumable to draw 1 card. It is a leaping attack card. There's absolutely no point. Oh, I forgot to clear this slot. I always forget something. There we go. There's no point us moving because the Cleric Beast will move 4 to attack us anyway. So yeah, we might as well just keep this card, and I'll use it to attack the Cleric Beast as part of the Cleric Beast's turn. So it's the end of my go. Cleric Beast is now activating, doesn't need to move. Let's see what it does with its... It's now the Cleric Beast's turn, but I am going to attack it. And do you know what? I'm just going to put this in here. I'm going to attack to try and get as much damage as possible. Also, sorry, just to remind, we need to put this health back on now. We're on side 2, so 8 health. Put that back on. Right, let's see what the Cleric Beast does. Jumping Smash. All hunters in this space must dodge at that speed or suffer 2 damage and stun, and then flip another boss action. Well, we can't dodge because we got no dodge card, so we're going to suffer 2 damage. So that's 2 gone. And stun. Well, that's great. We don't have a card to discard, so guess what? That's another 1 gone. So I think we were quite lucky with our first round against the Cleric Beast. We were very lucky, but now it's having a good time. And it says flip another boss card, and we flip Overhead Slam, which seems to be, it's not, I haven't put, no, it is phase 2. Targets all hunters in this space, same text as last time. Speed 2 for 4 damage. Mine is also a speed 2, which means that we will both do our damage to each other. It's important that you're aware of that. Same speed means we both do our damage. The Cleric Beast will take the 2, 3, 4. Oops. Will take the 4 damage from me. But unfortunately, I will take the 4 damage from the Cleric Beast, which kills me, which is a shame. So I'm dead. I have to take my miniature and move back over to the Hunter's Dream, like so. Because I've moved to the Hunter's Dream, we have to move the time track on 1, which is a reset. Now, if you remember, on a reset, the Cleric Beast does not return to the graveyard, it stays where it is, but it does restore its health, which means because it's on phase 2, its health goes back up to 8. And now, it's normal activities now, back in the Hunter's Dream. I have 1 Blood Echo, so we can have a look and see if there's any card that we want. I'm not sure that I actually want any of those upgrade cards. So what you can do in this situation is you can pick the card that you like the least. I actually dislike this cheap shot the most because the probability of them getting their ability is 1 in 6. The probability of you having this card in your hand at the same time that they get that is 1 in 12, and the 1 in 6 for them. It's sort of so rare that you'll have this that I can't see much point to it. So we'll just take that but not use it. We'll simply replace it with a rally. Well, rally's not bad. So if I get a chance to get another Blood Echo, etc., I'll try and get that. But I'm not sure. I suspect when the Cleric Beast is dead, that's probably the end of this mission. I need to refresh the rifle, Ludwig's rifle. We need to take our cards off here, shuffle them back into the deck. Okay, the cards shuffle back into the deck. Now we need to decide which side we want our trick weapon card on. I think we will go for, again, maximum damage as quickly as possible. We'll do that. And we'll keep our fingers, toes, legs and everything crossed. We need to get back into the game as quickly as possible with the Cleric Beast. The closest place for me to do that is if I come to Odin Chapel. Let's see what my 3 cards are first, actually, before we make any final decision. So our 3 cards are, yeah, we're gonna spawn back to Odin Chapel. So let's just take a look up at the board. We're on Odin Chapel, and we will have to do we want to discard a card? We're going to discard Second Wind to move 2 spaces, 1, 2. And the reason we're doing that is so that the Hunter's Minion and the Hunter's Mob up here do not gradually make their way over and get involved in what's going on. So we've moved our character. He's now in the same space as the Cleric Beast. And now it's time to just attack. Going to keep the dodge card, of course. And I think rather than me attacking now, I'm actually going to end my turn there. It's now the Cleric Beast's turn. He's going to attack me. I'm going to put this in here as part of the attack and keep this dodge card. And let's see what the Cleric Beast gets. The Cleric Beast gets a grab and toss at speed 3. It's got stagger, it's got stun. Move the hunter 1 space away. Hunter may exhaust their firearm to place 1 insight token on the Cleric Beast card. This attack deals -1 per insight token on the Cleric Beast. So it's speed 3. It doesn't say it can't be dodged, which is great. So I'm going to use my dodge card, Counter Strike, on the speed 3. And that is going to negate this attack from the Cleric Beast. It's going to do 2 damage to the Cleric Beast, because that's what Counter Strike does. And my heavy carve attack is now going to land. Even though it's slower, it's now its turn to land. And it's going to do 3, 4, 5 damage, which puts the Cleric Beast down. Hang on, we hit a reset point, didn't we? I do apologise. So I needed to put a Scourge Beast on here. I totally forgot, but there you go. We've put that in. Makes no difference to what we've done attacking the Cleric Beast. It does mean that I'm going to have a Scourge Beast to deal with in a minute. So that's going to be fun. Okay, so with the Scourge Beast down now at just 1 life, I have no cards left. This is where the Scourge Beast is going to become an irritation. So if we just go back up, the Cleric Beast has already had its turn to activate. Scourge Beast is going to move into the space with me, and it's going to attack. I've got no cards to defend myself with, so we need our enemy action deck. Hopefully, can we see that? Yes, we can see that. So we've got our enemy activation deck. It does its basic attack, which is a speed 3, 2 damage. I got nothing I can defend with. You'll notice I'm not using Ludwig's rifle to do any damage to this Scourge Beast, and the reason for that is that I think we are very close to actually finishing this Cleric Beast off. So I will just take the 2 damage. That's the end of the Scourge Beast go. We need to move the time tracker on again. We're just so you can see where we're up to. When we came back from the Hunter's Dream, of course, we moved it to here. Now we've moved it to here. We really need to finish off the Cleric Beast, otherwise we get to there, it's going to reset again. I'm going to have to deal with all of its health one more time. So my plan of attack is really simple here. I get my 3 cards, but all I need is to move. That's all I care about. I can move and use my rifle to finish off the Cleric Beast. So let's just use this dash card. We will move. In fact, if I use leaping, we can. I'm just trying to think I think we can finish the Cleric Beast off for sure, but I'm just wondering if I can do anything to attack the Scourge Beast as well, because they're both going to follow me when I exit the tile now, when I exit the space. So I'll put it in here. We will come up the board. Okay, so I will move just 1 space to here. Cleric Beast will pursue, Scourge Beast will pursue. They both pursue into that space with me, which is fine. I will discharge my Ludwig's rifle, doing 2 damage, which means the Cleric Beast is now finished, dead and done. I'll give myself a blood echo for doing that. Now, at this point, we've killed the Cleric Beast, so we can immediately go to read the text on the card. To me, that feels strange because I've still got a Scourge Beast in the slot with me. There's a part of me feels like we should really deal with that first. So all I can do, because my card is fully occupied now, so I'm going to use this card to flip over my board like so. I'm going to use, well, I'm just going to put Bloodstone Shard here, why not? And now the Scourge Beast will attack as part of it, and it gets its ability. Its ability is simply to spawn a Scourge Beast. So we get another, you come up here. Luckily, we've finished with the Cleric Beast. Otherwise, that space would be looking pretty cramped about now. So we get another Scourge Beast in there. They do no damage though, so that's fine. So that is, if you like, the end of the Scourge Beast's turn. We need to read what happens after we've finished off the Cleric Beast. We need to turn to card 44. Card 44. Hunt completed. The towering beast lets out one final shrill cry before collapsing to the ground. In the distance, howls and cries of Scourge Beasts, now retreating from central Yharnam, fill the air. On the horizon, the rays of the sun begin to rise, bringing the dawn and marking the end of this long hunt. You know, soon though, the blood moon will rise once more, and a new threat will call you into yet another hunt. So the hunt is finished. We've won. Let's just take a look at the time tracker. You'll see that we were really at the end of the mission. If this had moved to here, we could have still won, potentially. The Cleric Beast would have gone back to 8 health. And with a bit of luck and the right cards, it is possible to take down 8 health, but it's unlikely. So we've actually, I think, finished dead on really where the game expects you to finish if you have a bit of luck. What can we say about this mission? I enjoyed this mission. I like the fact that they put the insight token on the second reset point so that whatever happened, the Cleric Beast, you would definitely have just about enough time to finish it off. By having the clearing the pack insight mission, it's kind of, even if the Cleric Beast is attacking you, you can continue to finish that insight mission, but at least you can continue to try and do damage to the Cleric Beast. So it just, yeah, I like that. I think that's a nice way of dealing with it and making you work, but also still giving you a chance. There's no point me going to the Dream and getting upgrades because that's the end of the first campaign, the Long Hunt. And when you start new campaigns, you actually start fresh. You don't carry over any of the runes, any of the upgrades. You start again fresh. If we just move up here, take a look at the final position of the board. I think I had a lucky setup this time. Odin's Chapel in a perfect position between 2 tiles with the chest tokens. That really helped us. We didn't have to mess around with the Hunter's minion. That was great. I have had to play this one, I think, 3 times. Yeah, I think this is the 3rd time I've played this one in order to get a win. I hope you've enjoyed watching me play through it. I'm not sure at this point if there's still much to teach. But hey, if you've enjoyed watching me play through, I've certainly enjoyed playing it. I've certainly enjoyed winning. That's nice. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will get some more missions done in the future. Take care, everybody, wherever you are.